Hi everyone, it is me, Sailor Moon Serena here, and today we're going to talk about the Unstraight and Sailor Moon and if they were handled the right way or not. Now, a lot of folks, when they talk about the Unstraight folks in Sailor Moon, they're bringing up, they're bringing up Couldn't Fight and they're bringing up Millikite and Zoisite. They're bringing up, Mara Michelle was known as Sarah Uranus or Sailor Sky World or Sailor Neptune, Sailor Sea World. They're bringing up Fisheye. I guess you can bring up the Sailor Starlights, but you can't really, I guess, if you want to, no. I don't really think you could put them in that, because they're men, but then they shapeshift to become women, so I don't know if you can put them in that, and the Unstraight or not. A lot of folks will wonder and say, did Zoisite being shifted to a woman, was it the right thing to do? And the first thing I'm going to say is, I don't know. Nowadays, Zoisite being a unstraight man, and the most of all the Sailor Moon drawing shows, or at least, the ones that Toei did, yeah, I guess so. And then between 91, yeah, Zoisite was a unstraight man, but in Deke's world, she was a woman. But some folks are going to say, but in Hearst, Zoisite was straight. So, all right. So I guess there are going to be folks that are going to be irked or angered over that one, I guess. The grounds to why I believe, or my guess to why Zoisite became a woman, was under the grounds that Deke worried that there were going to be folks in the 4-1 folks in the settled land and 4-1 Reichs at the time that were not open-minded, were not trusting, didn't understand, and thought that, at the time, thought that anyone who was unstraight thought it was wrong or sinful, which it's not. There is no truth to it being sinful. A lot of folks like to say it is, but when you look in the Holy Book, it doesn't say it. There are many laws that God gave mankind and womankind to follow, but that isn't one of them. Now, for whatever grounds, sake or why, those folks who have not been open-minded at the time and dealing with how the mindset of some folks in the settled land and 4-1 Reichs were at the time, Deke had no choice but to make Zoisite a woman. And yes, in Deke's world, Zoisite's a woman, and I know that pisses off some folks, sadly, but it is what it is, You see, Deke didn't want to be put in a stone in a hardstead, or between, and be where next thing you know, UPN and WB started getting angry calls, even YTV saying, oh, I watched a show with two unstraight selves in it, even though they didn't do anything wrong. Oh, yes, they were foes. Millikite and Zoisite were foes. They were evildoers. They were foes in Sailor Moon's first following. That's true. Brainwashed didn't need to be foes. But yeah. And they didn't really do nothing wrong. Yes, they were evildoers, but you know what I mean. And then next thing you know, UPN, WB, YTV would have told Deke, I'm sorry, you can't do Sailor Moon now because too many folks are bitching and ranting about the unstraight selves. Either you seek a way to make Millikite and Zoisite unstraight, or the show's a no-go. So Deke chose to make Zoisite a woman so they wouldn't have to deal with any of that. I know some folks in the Sailor Moon followership and some folks in the unstraight and even the straight followership might, they might be against that. They might bitch and rant and say that it was kind hating on them, but I don't think so. Or whatever they want to say it was. They might even say shit about me talking about it. But sadly, Zoisite became a woman, and I know how a lot of folks out there don't like that. But that's why you got the Viz one. And then the Viz one Zoisite is an unstraight man, and you don't have to worry anymore about it. And you might say, why did Viz didn't have to do nothing? Because by the time Viz got the rights to work with the sale anything, by the time Viz got the rights from Toei to work with any Sailor Moon thing, the mindset, the stand of, learning and trusting and being open-minded and dealing and, of anyone who was unstraight or came out being unstraight or whatever was not how it is now. Now there's more open-mindedness going on. Now there's more trusting going on. There's more learning going on. All right? It is what it is. The next time, and then next folks like to bring up, Amara, Michelle, Sailor Uranus, Sailor Skyworld, Sailor Neptune, Sailor SeaWorld, and say, why did Pioneer, who got the rights to work with Sailor Moon after Deke got the rights, why did they make them near kin? Now, I don't know why they chose to go with near kin. I don't know. I guess they were seeking to come up with why these two were always around each other. I don't know. But a lot of folks knew it wasn't matching up with what they were doing. But yes, in Pioneer's world, which is a offshoot of the Deke world in some way, Amara Michelle, Sailor Uranus, Sailor Skyworld, Sailor Neptune, Sailor SeaWorld, yes, they are near kin. I am sorry. But why am I saying I'm sorry? But I'm saying I'm sorry because it is what it is. And I believe Pioneer did that because they didn't want to be put in the same bind that Deke would have been put in. Angry folks bitching, calling up Cartoon, calling up YTV and bitching about, I just saw a show with two unstraight selves in it. And, I don't want my kids watching that. And then Cartoon and YTV would have to tell Pioneer, you got to do something about Amara Michelle. If you don't, the show's a no-go. And some folks believed that it was only CLOVERWAY, Pioneer, making fun of the whole Deke thing. Well, if that was true, by the time the fourth following came along, and Fisheye, or Fish Eye, whatever you want to call her, in Pioneer's world, or CLOVERWAY's world, Fisheye was a woman. I know in many other takes of Sailor Moon, Fisheye is unstraight. I'm sorry. But am sorry to tell you, in Pioneer and CLOVERWAY's world, Fisheye became a woman. And I believe it was on the same grounds that had to do with Zoisite way back with Deke. So, yeah. And sadly, was that really bad? Did Fisheye get handled badly? No, I don't think, and at the end of the day, I don't think it took away from anything from the show. And did Fisheye really do or say anything that was wrong? Going after folks and looking into their dreams to see if Pegasus, Helios was in there, yeah, that was, not on looking someone's withdrawal, their own dreams, their goals. Yeah, that was wrong. But beyond that, no. So at the end of the day, the Unstraight and Sailor Moon kind of got handled in a weird kind of clean way. And a lot of folks will say, well, why didn't Amara and Michelle, Sailor Uranus, Sailor Neptune, Sailor SeaWorld, Sailor Skyworld, why didn't Viz have to do that? And the answer is, by the time Viz got the rights to work with Sailor Moon from Toei, the mindset, the stand, the trusting, the understanding, the dealing with the folks who are unstraight is how it is so unlike now. There are more folks out there who are trusting, understanding, and open-minded to folks. So that's why Viz didn't have to do nothing. And I know before I end this film, there's going to be someone that's going to take this the wrong way, because there always is someone in the world that is going to take whatever you say the wrong way. But I was talking about how Deke, Pioneer, CLOVERWAY how they handled the Unstraight, why they had to handle the Unstraight. And I know there's going to be some folks who might think that, well, all they need to do is go back in time and, and tell them they don't have to do that. Well, the past is the past, and the now is the now. So now all you folks should be thankful that Viz didn't have to do what Deep Glee did, what Pioneer in Business did, or what Pioneer Glee did, or CLOVERWAY in Business did when they worked with Sailor Moon. Be thankful of that. All right? Let me know what you think about it, and I'll see you later. I, Sailor Moon Serena, and we'll see you later. Goodbye.